Oh yes, of course, being new news, of course, we have the one and only, that's a relatively new lady to us, and that's Leah Parker Bond, and Leah will be with you with the news in about another 20 seconds if my clock's right. So all I've got to do is to sort of keep talking for about another 15 seconds now and give you a countdown to say that in about 10 seconds, hearing the wonderful voice of Leah Parker Bond, and she's coming up to you now with the news at 10 o'clock.
Those in Newcastle West, Rathkeale and Abbeyfield, this is West Limerick 102 News.
Good morning, it's 10 o'clock and I'm Lee Parker Bond. Taoiseach Brian Cowan will today seek the dissolution of the Dáil as voters await formal confirmation of the general election date. The Taoiseach, who remains in charge of the country until a new government is formed, will make his farewell speech to the 30th Dáil at 2:30 p.m. Mr Cowan last night announced his retirement from frontline politics. The final session is expected to last up to 1.5 hours. Immediately afterwards, Mr Cowan will travel to meet with President Mary McAleese to formally ask her to dissolve the Dáil. The pair will sign the necessary warrant in the state reception room before posing for photographs. Mr Cowan is then expected to travel to Tullamore for the Fine Gael selection convention in his Laois Offaly constituency. Candidates will be officially announced after the party's final selection convention. Mr Cowan's brother Barry Cowan, a councillor, has widely tipped to stand in his place for the seat formerly held by their father Bear. Meanwhile, former Minister for Defence Willie O'Dea has said he made a mistake regarding the tape in the Maurice Quillivan affair, and he said he had paid heavily for it both financially and politically. Last summer, Mr O'Dea made a sworn statement in connection with the High Court case taken by Sinn Féin local election candidate Maurice Quinlivan. While he accepted making comments about Mr Quinlivan, which were published in a local newspaper, he denied making other unpublished comments which figured in the court case. It later transpired that he had in fact made the comments. Mr O'Dea said he had forgotten making them and apologised. Speaking this morning, he said the case was investigated thoroughly by the Gardaí and the DPP, and they both concluded that there was no case to answer. Mr O'Dea said he did not seek the front bench and that he was surprised that newly elected leader, Fianna Fáil leader Micheál Martin rang him. He said it is possible that both he and running mate Peter Power could be in the shake-up for the last 2 seats in the Limerick City constituency. But he said it was quite possible that both he and Mr Power, who was also named in the new Fianna Fáil front bench, could be elected. Mr O'Dea was given the portfolio of communications and natural resources by Mr Martin yesterday. And finally, talks aimed at resolving the Aer Lingus cabin crew dispute will continue today at the Labour Relations Commission. The row, which has entered its 3rd week, is expected to cause further disruption to flights today. Passengers will be contacted in advance by the company if their flight is affected. Intending passengers are also advised to check the Aer Lingus website for updates.
West Limerick 102 FM weather, brought to you by Cushilla Credit Union Askeaton, with branches in Pallaskelly, Shallagolden, Foynes and Godalming.
Dry and bright with sunny spells, top temperatures of 8 to 11 degrees Celsius with moderate southwesterly winds.
102 FM weather, brought to you by Cushilla Credit Union Askeaton, with branches in Pallaskelly, Shallagolden, Foynes and Godalming.
And that's your 10 o'clock news. Next news in 1 hour.
Contact the newsroom on 069 662 00. You're listening to West Limerick 102.
Yes, indeed you are. And this is Mike Bernard, of course, with Mike's Morning Request Show. And while the news was coming through, I've had a number of texts come in, so let me just have a look and see what we've got here now. So